This is the full story of the Legend of Hei. Let's go! The movie begins in a magical world where the spirits and the dragons exist. This is Hei, an adorable cat spirit, living in the forest his whole life. He wakes up from his slumber because the humans start terrorizing the whole forest by destroying every animal's home, aka the deforestation. With his home now gone, Hei stumbles upon a town in search of his new home. He has to learn everything from scratch of what it's like being a cat, like stealing food, fighting off the predators, and maybe stealing a little nibble here and there. Then he gets attacked by some Gen Z kids? Bro, like, why is there 3 of them ganging up on this kitten? What the heckling, man? We learn that Hei can actually transform into his monster form. He gets saved by a man and he assures the cat that he's one of them, a spirit. He takes Hei into an invisible wall straight out of Harry Potter, which leads into a mythical forest. Here we meet some new characters. Void, a stoic spirit with a monotone voice, pretty much like Muichiro from Demon Slayer. Sky Tiger, who speaks in words, imagine Inumaki from Jujutsu Kaisen. And lastly, Bamboo, you know the happy bubbly type of characters that gets along with everyone else? Bamboo wonders about Storman's new obsession with the cats, but Hei transforms into his human form and tells him that he's a spirit. In the next scene, we see a criminal scum on the run, getting chased by this demonic human that can use the power of the spirits. This guy is the most nonchalant dude and actually pretty overpowered. His name is Master Infinity. Back to Hei, this seems to be his new home. He gets to have a nice meal by the bonfire for the first time and gets his own room to sleep. The next morning, they get attacked by Infinity, the best enforcer of the guild. Think of guild like a police force, but it's for the spirits, keeping the peace in order for the humans and the spirits to coexist together. Hei tries to fight, but he is no match for the Sigma Infinity. The group has no choice but to run away and have to abandon Hei in the forest. The defeated group then brainstorm a plan to rescue Hei. They use their spirit power and start searching for Hei's location. Hei wakes up in the forest and gets kidnapped by the Infinity, who wants to take him to the guild. He tries running away multiple times, but the portal was closed by Infinity. Frustrated, he tries attacking Infinity but gets wrapped in a spliff. He makes a raft and forcibly takes Hei with him. Hei tries to escape again, but quickly learns that cats can't swim. Storman meets Mr. Min, who helps him with something suspicious. This is Mao Mao, pretty much a goofball version of Chiatsu from Dragon Ball Z. He's also a disciple of Mr. Min.
Good morning, Master.
The raft comes under a heavy storm. Hei instinctively uses his ability called the Zone, which shocks Infinity. Having the Zone is the pinnacle of spiritual cultivation in the series universe. Inside the Zone, Hei is basically a god. Infinity has no choice but to use his power to get him out of the storm. Then he shows Hei his spiritual space. He offers Hei his teaching on how to control this terrifying power. Hei declines initially, but after...
It couldn't hurt to try, right? Once I've mastered the power, I can use it to escape.
During the trip, Hei starts his training. He's now able to swim and use his spiritual powers. Storman arrives at a library that's being run by a spirit called Brush Tiger. He does something that will be revealed later on, and then he leaves. Back at the raft, they apparently got lost and arrived in a whole new province.
Dryland at last! Woohoo!
Hey! Hello. What is this place?
You're stowaways, ain't you?
No, just lost.
And you just wandered into another province? Hey, call the cops!
Tell me which province this is.
Fulan province.
They decide to have a meal. Hei buys the whole menu, but when it's time to pay...
We accept mobile pay.
Stop those diamond dashers!
Hei tries to leave, but Infinity invites him to the guild. I mean that he's forced to go along with him. During the trip, Hei is just trying to escape, while he gets trained by Infinity and learns more about humans along the way. Then we meet the other enforcers and they convince Hei to at least check out the guild. When it's time to leave, Infinity gets some money from them and starts
Hey, gorgeous!
But at least they can now afford a food and a place to stay. The enforcers arrive at the torn down library and it's revealed that Storman has an ability to steal other spiritual powers and he was hiding them from the guild. Back to the journey, they run out of gas and now have to take the train. In the underground station, Hei gets kidnapped by two mysterious spirits, but they got no chance against the demon Infinity.
Look after the passengers. Save yourself the public embarrassment.
We find out that the kidnappers are actually part of Storman's group. Man, every fight in this movie series is an eye candy. Every movement is so smooth. If only One Punch Man season 3 was kinda like this, you know, maybe. Anyways, the group rescue Hei while doing some villain type shit. We then learn that Storman is actually evil and he's gonna use his ability to steal Hei's zone power.
We recently discovered that he's capable of stealing powers.
He is? Then he only wanted Hei for his power. Hei has the zone.
Then Hei's in danger. If that power's taken away from him.
I never saw him as a threat. That was a mistake.
Storman shows his true intentions, but after experiencing how the humans are like, Hei is hesitant, and Storman just forcibly steals his zone power. His true intentions are to activate this zone, and that way he can control everything inside it, because he's essentially a god inside of his own space. Hei gets rescued and the only way to save him is to get the zone back. Storman vs Infinity begins, but he's no match for this Jigga Chad. So Storman just activates this zone, slowly consuming everything nearby. The whole guild force is deployed to rescue humans, and humans do what they do best. Just a whole lot of screaming and panic. Infinity cares less about the zone and starts throwing hands again. Then we meet Naja. She's a loli with an attitude, kinda like Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. Infinity is soloing Storman inside his own domain expansion. Although Storman is slowly getting used to this ability, Hei wakes up and he's still alive, so logically, the zone still belongs to him. Hei transforms inside the zone, and now it's a 2v1 bitch. Hei finally learns how to control this domain expansion, and it's time for Storman's end. Ultimately, the zone is destroyed by Hei, so Storman is like, understandable, I'ma head out. At the end, Hei finally arrives at the guild and now it's time to say goodbye. Man, this was the most wholesome moment.
Let me come with you, Infinity!
Of course.
Oh, what do you know? Yes, sir. Totally right.
The movie ends on a bittersweet conclusion. Storman meets his tragic end as he decides to unalive himself. But the tragedy grants Hei the clarity to break the cycle of hatred, choosing connection over isolation. But more importantly, the one lonely stray cat finally finds a home, not in a box, but the trusting warmth of his new teacher. Moving on to the second movie that just released recently. There's only a Chinese version of this release so far, but I'll try my best to translate it. The movie begins when we meet Hei. Since the previous movie, he has grown stronger and became Infinity's official apprentice. He lives a rather quiet life in the guild while he's being trained under his Shifu. The fragile peace between the guild and the humanity is shattered with a brutal attack on the guild's branch, the Liu Shi Guild Hall. Hundreds of spirits are brutally executed, and a dangerous spirit-killing substance called Rana wood is stolen. CCTV shows Infinity to be at the scene of the crime. Despite being an elite enforcer of the guild, Infinity is their prime suspect. Him and the other elders hold a meeting to clear out his name, and they all gather in the main guild headquarters. This is when we meet Lu Ye. She's Infinity's first disciple, who's deeply cynical and distrustful of humans, stemming from a past trauma. In order to find the real culprit, Infinity stays at Naja's house, and they are pretty much gaming the entire time. Lu Ye and Hei team up along with two other spirits, and they embark on the quest to find the real perpetrators and expose the conspiracy. Their journey takes them through various domains. At one point, they even have to Grand Theft Auto to reach their destination. Back at the guild, the news of the stolen artifact has been leaked, increasing the tension between the spirits and the humans working inside the guild, and one of the elders stopped them before the situation gets any worse. The guild finds out that the artifact was split into 3 pieces, and the first piece's location was revealed to the elders. White Fang is sent to infiltrate their base. A scout tells him that the artifact is underground. He wastes no time and enters the enemy lands. This entire sequence is like a John Wick movie, and the mission was easily a success. A hooded spirit tries to stab Lu Ye, and the most epic chase scene begins. We learn that this spirit has the ability to change his body and voice. He tries using Infinity against Hei, but it just backfires. Hei starts getting his revenge for all the trauma he's been caused. The spirit is ultimately captured, and they find out that the portal to the guild was actually destroyed by someone. So they book a flight for tomorrow using guild's money, and maybe buy a penthouse for the night, because why not, right? Lu Ye tells Hei that she met Infinity on the street, but a brief flashback suggests that her past might be more sinister than she really claims. The next day, it's Hei's first time on the plane. There's 2 other spirits who will be joining the journey. Their names are Jia and B. They all get boarded on the plane, and the plane takes off. The flight is going smoothly until the enemy attacks with a giant skeletal dragon, and the calm atmosphere turns into panic and screams. They start battling it out on the plane, but the enemy manage to free the doppelganger spirit and run away after destroying the right wing of the plane. Now, they only have 3 minutes before the plane crashes and turns into ashes. Lu Ye starts handing out the instructions. The 2 spirits escort the passengers, while Lu Ye takes the command in order to keep everyone alive. This was something straight out of a Mission Impossible movie. The plan is to group up the passengers into a small section. The plane will be directed into an open space. Then Lu Ye will use a metal strings to isolate the plane into a smaller cabin. Then Hei and the others are tasked to decrease the momentum of the crash, and they end up landing safely. But one of the spirits gets injured and they're unable to continue with them. Hei gets angry after finding out that Lu Ye had planned this whole fiasco. She destroyed the portal so that she can bait out the culprit and track their leader down. Then B reveals Lu Ye's tragic past. She's a war orphan from a district. They got caught in the crossfire during the Great War between the spirits and the humans, resulting in her community, including her family and the Old Master, all listed as KIA. This trauma is the source of her belief that coexisting with humans is impossible, and her commitment with siding with the spirits is no matter what. The broken and lost Lu Ye was then rescued by Infinity, who took her as his first disciple. But Hei, who's experienced the good and bad side of the humans, struggled to reconcile with Lu Ye's trauma, but at the end he ends up following her. Back at the guild, the location of the artifact has been found. All the elite enforcers start gathering near the portal. For reference, 30 of them are enough to easily demolish an entire country. A cold war is on the rise. Infinity decides to stop them and starts brawling them all using a single hand. Lu Ye arrives at the enemy base and starts solo squatting with the whole gang. The fight scenes are all hand drawn. Like, what are they feeding these Chinese animators, bro? Lu Ye makes his lobby look easy. until the leader is revealed to be Lord Ling Yao, an elder and a former teacher of Lu Ye before Infinity. He's the evil orchestrating this whole plan. Back at the guild, Infinity is making easy work with the strongest elite spirits of the guild, but he's taking it too far, so Naja has to step in, and the epic battle between the two most strongest spirits begins. Then Wifang stops them before they nuke their sacred place, and they make an agreement that Infinity alone will be enough to deal with the enemy forces. The humans deploy every arms in their arsenal, ballistic missile, nuclear warheads, and even some space beam cannon, and the spirits? They just got Infinity flying slowly towards the enemy head on. Even the elders start thinking that maybe he's too overpowered. On the other side, Lu Ye is on her last leg against the elder and his goons, but Hei is on his way to the rescue. Lu Ye has no choice but to reveal her true form, and somehow she overpowers the elder, but he escapes her grip. At the end, the elder is imprisoned instead of an execution, and then Lu Ye revisits her past. In the flashback, she despised her new life at the guild, so much so that she ran away. She was able to grow stronger through the guidance of Infinity and by opening her heart to the new people. The final scene where her loved ones bid her a peaceful farewell is not just a goodbye, but a blessing. The farewell signifies her ultimate choice, to release the shackles of her painful past and embrace a joyful present. The very guild that she once hated now became her sanctuary, a place that she can proudly call home.